All right, Monte Carlo, I guess, should be called Upset City because Stefanos Tsitsipas takes out Jannik Sinner and Casper Ruud takes out Novak Djokovic today in the Principality in the semifinals. Great matches, both 3 sets. Both guys, Tsitsipas and Ruud, came back from kind of losing positions to win and was super interesting. I feel like big wins for both of their kind of mentalities and careers right now. Super interesting in the first big tournament on clay in this season. So let's get into it. Reaction to what's happened, breakdown of the match coming up here on The Slice. What a day of semifinal matchups in Monte Carlo. If you're new here, welcome to The Slice. This is the place where you get match analysis, reactions, news, interviews with pros, like I've done with Casper Ruud. If you go to our YouTube page here, just go to the main page. You can watch our full interview, me and Casper Ruud from Geneva 2022. Sorry, Gstaad 2022, where he won the tournament on clay. And speaking of clay, he's a beast. And I think he reminded people today of why he's such a beast. A great match, a physical match from him against Novak Djokovic, obviously getting the upset over the Serb in a pretty interesting way. So let's talk about it. This is a match reaction because I wasn't able to watch every point of these matches. I was golfing this morning with my parents, so I wasn't able to watch the matches, but I was able to come home and skip through the matches, highlights, or skip through the matches point by point, but not every point, and get a really good vibe from the match. So it started off, Casper Ruud comes out, breaks immediately over Djokovic. Ruud hitting his forehand big, and early on you can see just hitting his backhand down the line great, or just his backhand in general. I think once you see, and what I got from seeing Casper Ruud play in person on clay a lot while on tour is just how physical he is. He doesn't on TV. Sometimes you don't see how jacked he is, strong guy, and how much he just puts a ton of pace and heaviness on the ball on the forehand side, especially on clay. And he's actually changed his backhand grip to make it more Eastern, to make it more flat, to make it more classical. And he's able to hit through the backhand now down the line with a lot more pace and now with a lot more consistency as well. And that was a huge factor in today's match, him being able to go backhand down the line and really break the rally pattern and surprise Djokovic and get clean winners off that side. So that was awesome for him. So yeah, Ruud comes out, wins the first set, breaks twice. Djokovic got back in it, broke once. And then it was a 6-1, I believe, if you just look at the score here. Yeah, 6-1 second set for Djokovic. So Ruud went away a little bit. Djokovic started to play a lot better, really drilled down on Ruud's second serves, was winning the vast majority of those points. We'll take a look here at the stats in a second. And then in the third set, it was close. Casper Ruud was up 4-1. Djokovic brings it back to 4-all, and then Ruud holds his nerve, like better than Djokovic did, in my opinion. So it's 4-all. Casper Ruud holds for 5-4, and then Djokovic goes to serve and kind of chokes that game away. There's I think 3 unforced errors in that game, and Ruud got a little bit fortunate there and just took what Djokovic gave to him. So very interesting and a huge win for Casper Ruud to beat Djokovic, obviously, for the first time, but also to do it from a bit of a losing position there where Djokovic had wrestled back the momentum in the third set. And that's big time gonads from Ruud to hold on there and, not be the one who makes a misstep first. Djokovic ends up doing that, which Djokovic has famously been the guy who holds his nerve better in those big moments, but it didn't happen today. So let's just go through the stats here a bit in this match. Obviously 6-4, 6-1, 6-4 for Casper Ruud. Stats. Set one. Let's go set by set. So step one, Casper Ruud over here served better, 270 serve rating. He got less first serves in, actually won less first serve points, but won a lot higher second serve points. So I guess that's why the rating is higher. Was only broken once. Djokovic was broken twice. And clean first sets. 9-9 for Djokovic, 7 winners, 6 unforced errors for Casper Ruud. If we go to the second set, it swings to Djokovic. Casper couldn't serve at all, 152. He only won 2 points on his 13 second serve points. And just only got 6 first serves in the whole set. So it's just a quick set, 2 breaks for Djokovic. Just not really, a great set for Ruud and a great set for Djokovic. 11 winners, 2 unforced errors. So at this point, the match is back with Djokovic as far as the momentum. But Ruud then is able to serve a little bit better than Djokovic in the third set. Still not get as many in. Still won less first serve points, but the second serve point battle really seemed to be big. Djokovic wasn't able to capitalize on as many second serves of Ruud. And then there was 2 breaks in the fourth or in the third set for Ruud, only 1 for Djokovic. Only 2 unforced errors for Ruud in the third set, 11 for Djokovic. So super interesting there. Again, Ruud held his nerve better. This is interesting. Rally analysis. So you see here from points that were 0 to 4 shots, Djokovic won the majority. He won 50 out of 84 points. 5 to 8 shots in the rally. It got a lot closer. Djokovic had the slight edge there. And then in longer rallies, 9+ shots, Ruud had the significant advantage in those points. So what does that tell you? Ruud's in the prime of his career. He's a physical beast, like I said, and he just knows how to dirtball. He's a clay court beast. And a lot of people have made fun of him over the years for being a clay court specialist, a clay court poacher, getting all these points from 250 events that he plays in. Well, now he just beat Novak Djokovic in the semifinals of Monte Carlo. And he's been to the French Open final multiple times. So that's a big win for him. And he's tough. And over 9-shot rallies, at this point in their careers, I think Casper Ruud's got more in the tank than Djokovic does. So that was a match that Djokovic definitely could have won. He won the second set pretty easily, and he had gotten the momentum back in the third set to 4-all. And normally, I think you would see him find a way to win that match. But maybe Ruud's more mature now at this point in his career. He's been there more times. And actually, interestingly, after the match, he said that he believed he could beat Djokovic today during the match. He was thinking about how Djokovic lost to Luca Nardi in Indian Wells, and he'd already lost a few matches this year, and he wasn't playing as good this year as he has in previous years. So he felt like he was more beatable. So that speaks to the confidence and the thinking the right thoughts for Casper Ruud in the match today. So that's interesting. What's your thoughts on Ruud? I heard of a few people on Twitter and in Instagram talking about Casper Ruud potential to win this whole tournament before this happened. So that was super interesting. Let me know your thoughts. That's a big win for the Norwegian friend of the show, Casper Ruud. Okay, Stefanos Tsitsipas. Yeah, you remember this guy? He takes out Jannik Sinner in 3 sets in almost a similar match today. Tsitsipas getting out to the good head start there against Sinner and losing the second set and then coming back to win from down in the third set. Tsitsipas was in a pretty incredible way. But a lot of people have roasted Tsitsipas as of late, saying that he's not as good as he used to be. He's on the decline. He's kind of missed his opportunity. He's now outside the top 10. Well, he's going to be back inside the top 10 after this. And he is reminding you why he was in the conversation for winning majors, being number 1 in the world, because of how good he is, primarily on clay. And this is his surface, and this is his tournament. He won it back-to-back years before. So he's kind of putting, you can see how, this is a big win for him in his career. This is definitely a big win for him. Sinner only lost 1 match all year. Arguably, best player in 2024. It's pretty clear. He beats him straight up. That's Casper Ruud. He beats him straight up. That's pretty crazy. So what happened in this match? Because this was another super tight match. One set, it was 6-4. I believe it was 6-4, 3-6, 6-4. 1 break apiece one break for Tsitsipas in the first set, gets it done. 1 break for Ruud. Sinner in the second set gets it done. And then we go to the third set. Tsitsipas is down a break early. Sinner's winning. Sinner's playing better. The whole match, before we get to the third set. The whole match, Tsitsipas having more time on the forehand, backhand, everything helps him on the clay. He's standing way back on the return, and he's just able to take bigger rips of the ball with more time. Sinner, on the other hand, has less clean bounces, less good timing, was making a few more errors than I think he was back on the hard courts. So it's like home court advantage for Tsitsipas, but Sinner's still probably the better tennis player, more well-rounded tennis player right now in general. But the clay was evening the match there. So third set, Tsitsipas is down a break, and then he's got break points against him to go down 2 breaks to Sinner, and he holds I want to say he fends off 3 break points. And there was one part where there's a non-call on a serve that was out. That was a bit weird, and then I think that was actually closer to 3-4. But anyways, Tsitsipas gets back in the match, and from 2-4 down in the third set, he wins 4 games on the trot against Sinner to win. Sinner did start to cramp in the last 4 games. On the changeovers, he was getting his thighs rubbed, his hamstrings rubbed. So that's a bit weird. After a guy who's been so solid, you would think he might have been past that. But we saw with Alcaraz last year at the French Open, and the clay does something different to your body. The cramps came back for Sinner. So that might have thrown him off a little physically at the end. But Tsitsipas was able to get back on the momentum, win the last 4 games in a row, breaking twice. And that's huge. You got to know that's huge for Tsitsipas. You could see how much it meant to him when he won that, even though he's playing against a younger player. He kind of seems to put aside his ego, and he's just I needed that win. That's a huge win. He got 2 top 10 wins this week, I believe. And that's big for him. So let's look at the stats from this match, if I can pull it up here. Let's just look here. Tsitsipas Sinner. Yeah. Tight match. 3 sets, almost 3 hours. Big match. Let's go look at the rally analysis. 94 points won. On the 0-4 shots, Tsitsipas has the big advantage. With the serve, I think he's still got a better serve than Sinner. But Sinner's serve was not able to do as much damage, especially against the return of Tsitsipas, that it was on the hard courts. In the middle points, 5 to 8 shots, Sinner, big advantage there. And then 9+ shots, once it got into heavy rallies, it was even. So that's easy. That's interesting to see. That's a close match. Like you said, in stats in general over the match, the serve rating a little better for Tsitsipas. He got 60% of his first serves in. He actually won less percentage on his first serve, but big thing here. And on clay, his second serve, he's got a good kick on it, better kick than Sinner does, and he was able to win a lot more second serve points, or a higher percentage at least of second serve points than Sinner was, and that's interesting. Only broken twice in the match. He was able to produce a lot more break points against Sinner than Sinner was against him. So that's interesting. Yeah. Great stuff. Great stuff from Tsitsipas to beat Sinner and get a huge win for his confidence, obviously. That's pretty amazing to see. Let's take a look at the draw for Monte Carlo in general, because that helps put this all into context. Now we switched here. Give me a sec. We're going to look at the paper draw, which is what the real hardcores look at. So obviously we got Djokovic and Ruud. We got Ruud coming out of the top half. Ruud takes out Humbert, Hurkacz, Hurkacz. That's a big win for Ruud. He took out Tabilo, and then he had a bye, and then he beats Djokovic. Biggest win of his career. Tsitsipas, where does he come from? He beats Laszlo Djere, then he beats Echeverry, who did not hold serve once against him. Then he beat Zverev in 2 sets. That was a big win for him. Tsitsipas then beat Khachanov. Another good win. Now Sinner took out Rune and Struff and Korda. So he had a bit of an easier run. And then that was a tough match against Rune, and maybe that took some out of him to play Tsitsipas. But Tsitsipas beating Zverev, top 5 seed, and Sinner, top 5 seed, that's a huge win for Stefanos Tsitsipas. So what do you think? Is this a shock to you that Ruud and Tsitsipas get a win here in Monte Carlo like they both just got, beating the top 2 players out of the top 4? This whole year I've been talking about the top 4. Djokovic, Sinner, Alcaraz, Medvedev. Alcaraz not there this week. Medvedev not great on the clay. Casper Ruud comes to beat Djokovic. Tsitsipas comes and beats Sinner. On clay, is there just more guys who can win these big titles and beat everyone? Yeah, maybe there is. On hard court, maybe the top four are too good, but on clay, it's more democratic. So it's going to be super interesting going into Barcelona, then Madrid, and then Rome, and then the French Open. How good can Casper Ruud and Stefanos Tsitsipas do? How good can Alcaraz do once he feels better? Medvedev, Djokovic, Sinner, Nadal when he comes back, Zverev, Felix Auger-Aliassime, Canadian. There's lots of guys who can do damage here. Holger Rune, I mean, it's unbelievable. Holger Rune is getting blasted on Twitter and then blasting people back because he was upset that he played 3 matches in like a day and a half, basically, in Monte Carlo with some weird weather. I'm stoked for the clay season. I couldn't be more bullish on the clay season. This has been a super interesting tournament so far. So preview for the final, Tsitsipas versus Ruud, clay boys, on the dirt in Monte Carlo. It's going to be a tough match. I like Casper Ruud being able to go backhand to backhand with Tsitsipas and then go up the line. I like both guys' forehands are massive and so heavy on the clay. It's going to be interesting to see who can dominate more and impose themselves more. It's just going to be a great match. It's going to be a great clay quarterfinal, and whoever wins it is going to have a great momentum going into the next few weeks, next few tournaments. Whoever loses is still going to have a great momentum from this week because of the wins they got today. So big day of tennis, big wins for Ruud and Tsitsipas. So congrats to their fans. Tough luck to Sinner and Djokovic fans and them. Anyways, that's been the slice. Semifinal Saturday in Monte Carlo. What'd you think? Let me know your thoughts below, and we'll see you next time here on the show.